All right, today we are diving deep into the world of crystals. You know, these incredible geological marvels that have fascinated people for thousands of years. They're seen as both these amazing scientific wonders and as really powerful spiritual tools. So let's explore where that line between myth and mineral starts to get a little blurry.
And wow, right out of the gate, you see the mystery, right? Stories just like this one about this really rare green crystal called moldavite, they just go to show how deeply these stones are woven into our myths and our legends. We're not just talking about a rock here, we're talking about a story that's literally fallen from the heavens.
Okay, so what is a crystal really? Well, from a scientific standpoint, it's all about that perfect, repeating atomic structure. It's incredibly ordered. But for millions of people, that very physical structure gives rise to something more. It becomes a tool for spiritual and personal work. This is really where hard science and deep personal belief intersect.
To really get what crystals are all about, we've got to go back to the beginning. And I mean way back, deep inside the Earth. This is their geological journey, a process that takes millions upon millions of years of unbelievable heat, pressure, and of course, time.
So how does this even happen? Well, there are a few main ways. You've got some like quartz that are born when super hot magma cools down. Then there are others, like these amazing selenite desert roses, that form as water evaporates over eons, leaving these beautiful mineral deposits behind. And then some, like tourmaline, get created when superheated gases literally force their way into solid rock. Each method creates its own completely unique crystalline signature.
And the timescales here are just mind-blowing. Let's circle back to moldavite for a second, because its origin story is totally unique. It's believed to be around 15 million years old, formed when a massive meteorite slammed into the Earth. The impact basically melted sand and rock, creating this one-of-a-kind green glass. It's literally a piece of a cosmic collision that you can hold in your hand.
And this brings up a really important point, the difference between how we find crystals and how we use them. On the left, you see their raw, natural shapes, clusters and points, exactly as they came out of the ground. But on the right, they've been carved and polished into shapes that have specific purposes. Spheres for gazing, palm stones for meditating, and hearts for setting intentions. It's the bridge from raw earth to human hands.
You know, this thing we have with crystals, it's not some new fad. Not at all. Our fascination is ancient. For thousands and thousands of years, we've been mining them, revering them, and, believing in their power. I mean, just look at this timeline. It shows just how long this history is. We're talking about ancient Egyptians burying their pharaohs with lapis lazuli for protection. The Greek philosopher Plato theorized they were literally born from the stars. In the Middle Ages, they were essential amulets. And now, today, we're seeing this massive global revival. The connection, it just endures.
And get this, the legends just keep getting bigger. That same rare green stone, moldavite, is even tied to one of the most famous artifacts in all of history, the Holy Grail. Now, whether that's a literal truth or just a powerful myth, it shows the incredible significance we've placed on these materials throughout our history.
Okay, so let's jump to today. Crystals are absolutely everywhere. You see them in jewelry, in people's homes, all over social media. But the big question, it still remains.
The million-dollar question, right? How are they believed to actually work? Is it just a feeling? Is it a placebo? Or is there something more going on? Let's break down the two main perspectives here.
Okay, so on one side, you've got the scientific lens. A crystal, like quartz, has this measurable, real property called the piezoelectric effect. If you squeeze it, it generates a tiny, consistent electrical charge. It's literally why quartz keeps perfect time in our watches. For a lot of believers, this is scientific proof of a crystal's energy. Then, on the other hand, you have the metaphysical view. This belief says that each crystal has its own unique vibration that can interact with our body's own energy field, what some people call an aura, and help balance our energy centers, or chakras. And for some people, the experience is, it's intense. It's physical. This quote from a YouTuber talking about his first time holding moldavite just captures that feeling perfectly. He's talking about sweating, uncontrollable laughter, and a profound shift in his entire life. To a believer, this is a tangible, energetic exchange. It's something far beyond just wishful thinking.
So if you're curious about all this, how do people actually, use them? Let's get into some of the most common practices.
A central idea to a lot of these practices is the concept of the 7 chakras. They're believed to be these core energy centers running right along the spine. The goal is always to keep them balanced for emotional and physical well-being. And as you can see from this chart, each chakra is associated with specific crystals believed to help do just that, like using rose quartz for the heart chakra or amethyst for the third eye. All right, now you might have seen these things called crystal grids. They can look super complex, but the idea behind them is actually pretty straightforward. You arrange stones in a geometric pattern to basically amplify their energy toward a single, focused goal. You set an intention, you pick your stones, you lay them out in a pattern, and then you activate the grid, often with a quartz point to create this one unified energy field.
But hey, it doesn't have to be that complicated. There are tons of simpler ways people connect with crystals. A lot of people just meditate while holding one, or they'll wear crystal jewelry to keep that energy close. They'll place larger pieces around the house, carry small tumbled stones in their pocket for support during the day, or even use pendulums for a bit of guidance. The whole point is just creating that connection.
So after all that, from the deep, deep earth all the way to modern-day wellness, we're left with a pretty big question. You know, maybe the most important piece of advice we came across, something you see over and over, is this. It suggests that beyond all the books and charts, the most important tool you have is your own intuition. The idea is that you'll just be naturally drawn to the stone whose energy you need most in that moment. So, what is a crystal then? Is it a masterpiece of geology, a mystical talisman steeped in thousands of years of history, or a practical tool for finding a little bit of balance in our crazy modern world? You know, maybe it's all three. Ultimately, what a crystal means, well, that's for you to decide.